Okay, so you look in the mirror, right, every day.
Yeah,
And that face, it seems pretty solid, pretty fixed.
definitely looks that way.
But what if I told you it's actually, well, a dynamic structure,
Hmm.
constantly dealing with forces?
That's exactly what we're diving into today.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're getting under the skin, you could say,
Literally,
to explore the biomechanics of your facial skeleton.
right, biomechanics. Think of it like the physics of the body.
Physics, okay. How forces work on living things.
Exactly. How mechanical principles, stress, strain, that sort of thing apply to the bones, specifically the ones making up your face.
Got it. And our guide for this journey, our source material, is a medical article. It's from Clinics in Plastic Surgery. Actually dates back to 1992.
Biomechanics of the Facial Skeleton by R.L. Mullen. A solid foundation.
Yeah. So our mission for this deep dive, pretty straightforward, really.
Yeah.
Understand the hidden engineering, the way our faces manage to withstand, well, everything life throws at them.
All those everyday forces.
Yeah. Let's talk about those forces then. Because your face isn't just, sitting there.
Not at all. It's working constantly. Take something really basic like chewing your food.
Right. That's repetitive.
Yeah.
And pretty powerful when you think about it.
Definitely. Then there's talking, yawning. Even just gravity is always pulling, subtly.
And then the less gentle stuff, I suppose.
Mm.
Bumps, maybe sports impacts.
Uh-huh. All these things generate different mechanical forces. You've got compression.
Like squashing.
Yeah, squeezing or pushing together, like when you bite down hard. Then tension, which is more of a pulling force. Think muscle contractions.
Okay.
And shear forces. Those are more like sliding pressures, maybe from a sideways knock.
Wow, okay. So compression, tension, shear.
And what's really amazing is how the facial bones are structured to actually handle all of that.
So how did they do that? I mean, it's not just one big block of bone up there, is it?
No, definitely not. It's more like a complex puzzle, lots of interconnected bones. And the sutures,
Those lines where they join.
exactly, they're crucial. They aren't rigidly fused together, more like flexible joints. They allow tiny bits of movement.
Ah, so they absorb shock.
Sort of, yeah. They help spread the force out instead of concentrating it in one spot. Plus, you have natural arches and pillars.
Like architecturally.
Kind of. Think about your cheekbones, the bridge of your nose. They act like buttresses you see in old buildings.
Okay, providing support.
Right. They give strength along the lines where stress is most common. It's quite an elegant design.
Now, this is where it gets really practical, doesn't it? This isn't just, interesting anatomy facts.
Not at all. Understanding this stuff has huge real-world implications. Think about reconstructive surgery.
After an accident, maybe.
Exactly. If someone has facial fractures, surgeons need to know how those forces normally work to repair things properly.
So the repair holds up to daily life. Chewing, talking.
Precisely. The repair needs to handle those stresses. It also guides how they design and place implants, if needed, to restore not just the look, but the function, too.
So yeah, this seemingly academic topic directly helps people recover. That's really significant.
It really is.
Now, something I was thinking about. We often assume the jawbone, the mandible, must be the strongest part, right? Because of all that chewing.
That's a common thought.
But is it always the most resilient when you think about, say, an impact force from the side or front?
That's a really insightful point. While the mandible is certainly built robustly for chewing's crushing forces, the midface area, around your nose and cheekbones, specifically the connection between the cheekbone and the upper jaw, the zygomaticomaxillary complex, it has this really interesting way of dealing with impacts.
How so?
Well, it's connected to several other bones, so a force hitting there doesn't just hit one bone, it gets distributed, spread out across that whole network.
Like a web.
Kind of. So sometimes the overall structure there can handle certain impacts surprisingly well, maybe even better than a more focused blow just to the jaw might be handled. It's about distribution.
Fascinating. So let's wrap this up. What's the big picture takeaway here?
I think the main thing, drawing from Mullen's work and just general biomechanics, is that your facial skeleton isn't some static, passive shield.
Right. It's active.
It's a dynamic system, constantly responding, adapting, distributing these mechanical stresses that hit it every single day. It's down to that unique architecture, how the bones connect and support each other.
It really changes how you think about your own face. Considering this intricate biomechanics we've just touched on, makes you wonder, what other parts of our bodies that seem totally fixed, totally static, might actually be these dynamic systems too, constantly adjusting to forces
Yeah.
in ways we barely even notice?
That's a great question. Definitely something to think about.